Episode 4 of Rabbit Hole, titled The Person in Your Ear, is a must-watch episode, and I'm going to say this over and over again. This is a must-watch TV show. Very underrated, and by very underrated, I mean this is a spy espionage thriller that has never been seen before. The pacing of the story is great, the acting is great, and it's just twists and turns that I've never seen in a TV show in a very, very long time, and I absolutely mean that. The episode starts off with a recap and kind of a small little opening where we see who threw the other executive off of the Arden building, and it's the intern. The intern has a not much of a context of a story. He's working for Crowley. We know that. We still don't know who Crowley is, but him and his girlfriend go to this protest, and it's really interesting how it happens. Now, as the episode progresses, they're kind of looking into Valence's emails, phone records, over 300 kind of combos back and forth, and all the while, they're in a new safe house. And we see that Edward Hom is still alive, but he can hear every conversation. And they have to figure out this one email back and forth between Valence and Elliot Gow, or Gow for that matter, who is kind of an NFT person who, in a way where Edward Hom explains NFT perfectly, explains cryptocurrency perfectly. If you don't understand NFTs, non-fungible tokens, or cryptocurrencies, watch this episode. It'll give you a quick 10, 15, 30-second explanation of what it is and how it matters and why it's actually more of a scheme and a pyramid scheme than it is an actual thing where people should not invest in, like real estate or whatever the matter is. So this whole aspect is trying to get Gow more information about what's going on. So he kind of understands what's happening. Now, John kind of gets Haley into this whole team building kind of thing. So he makes her steal like a crossword thing at a convenience store, trying to figure out the deception and certain things of how everything works. You know, it's to tell if you're lying. Don't answer a question with a question. Don't go, what's going on? And then think about something. Just be confident and say it out loud. And then the whole aspect of seeing how Edward Hom wants to see what's happening in on his wife. He's like, oh, okay. But he finds out that she's having an affair with the neighbor, Kevin. Kevin, of all people, how Edward Hom says it. Now, Charles Dance's character, Dr. Ben Wilson, is great. As all this is going on, Gow is at, his function where he's selling kind of a liquor that's close to getting 6 figures, and they're trying to figure out everything. But then in this episode, we actually find out the true nature of Haley's background. And she sees her former boss where she worked in Chicago. But she didn't tell Jonathan everything. Keith Sutherland's character. Basically, Haley kind of stole money from her boss in cryptocurrency. And, you steal some and you keep it and it grows. And she says, as of this day, it's close to $26 million. And Keith Sutherland's character is like, holy shit, why didn't you tell me? Abort, we have to get out. So this whole aspect of what the Blue Mercedes is basically the Blue Mercedes the entire time for the first 4 episodes is going after Haley, and they work for the former boss that she worked for. So we understand that notion. You have to get her out. She goes up to see Gow with a couple henchmen, and then someone comes in who we think is Crowley. But, this is the first time a show has ever got me hook, line, and sinker where I think that this person is Crowley. But evidently, it's not. It's just a decoy just to get more information from Gow and how it was done. Absolutely crazy. Gow keeps getting messages, takes a picture of who this Crowley is, sends it to the real Crowley, and then says, hey, you've gotten old. Wow. And then the whole aspect of John, kind of causing a citywide blackout. That happens, they escape, and you see Edward Hom doing his thing, and it's just a fun segment moment. The episode is only 45 minutes long, 42 without the recap and the opening title sequence, but the way it was is great. And they try to figure out the word of introverse and everything, and they kind of put in and throw in the kind of the real life Ashley Madison situation where all these congressmen's names were dropped, having affairs while they're married and everything, what it is, the context. And then John's like, oh, this and that, but I have to get my former team together. And Haley's like, what former team? And then John and his father look at each other, and Haley's like, oh, okay, I understand. This episode is great. I feel like every episode builds, and builds on top of one another. And it's absolutely mind-blowing how the corporate aspect, the spy, the espionage, the thriller, like, who can you trust? What can you trust? Can you trust the media? Can you trust NFTs? Can you trust crypto? What is it that is so crazy about the world and the manipulation that you see? And I feel like the creators of this show are giving us that and opening our eyes to, being more alert as to the surroundings around us instead of just being in our phones or social media or other aspects of how to progress about daily life. I absolutely love this episode. I keep saying it every episode, but it keeps getting better and better. And so far, the creators of this show, Glenn Ficarra and John Requia, have directed and wrote all the episodes so far. So this is an 8-episode season. I'm hoping it get picked up for a second season because it's absolutely phenomenal. Not only that, the FBI agent Joe Maddie is doing her own investigation with the intern, trying to figure out who he is. So there's a whole underlining thing of who Crowley is Haley who she says she is. I feel like she's FBI or CIA. Is she working with someone else? And what is the true nature? And why is John and the father trying to make certain things happen? And why is Edward Hom alive? And why did they make his death look like it was done, but he's actually alive? It's crazy. It's great. I haven't enjoyed a show like this in a very, very long time, especially the cat and mouse game with governments and freedom and understanding what you're watching and not watching. It's brilliant. It's fantastic, and I absolutely love it. Watch this show. I highly recommend it. There are a lot of people who don't know about this show, but word of mouth, and I keep telling you, my viewers, whoever comments on these videos, get the word out. Tell everyone to watch this show, and it will gain popularity because it's very, very underrated, and I feel like not many people are watching it. This is one of the shows right now that is so good that no one is watching it when they should be watching it. So let me know in the comment section below what you thought about episode 4 of Rabbit Hole. Tell the person in your ear. Did you like it? Did you not like it? What did you think of it? What do you think about the whole aspect of the story, the twists, the turns? What do you think is going to happen in the following episodes, especially knowing that it's only 8 episodes? And do you think there'll be a season 2? Who do you think is really Crowley? What is John and the father really doing? How does Edward Hom play into everything? And who do you think Haley really is? Let me know in the comment section below about all the questions I just asked about this week's episode of Rabbit Hole. And be sure you click that subscribe button and hit that notification bell for new videos on my channel. I'll see you all in the next review video. And be sure you tune in next week for my episode 5 review of Rabbit Hole. And thanks for tuning in.